Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got a review of The Sound of Distant Engines by Robert E. Dunn. And this was sent to me by Silver Shamrock Publishing in exchange for an honest review. So thank you guys for that. Anyway, this is one of those books that I wasn't really sure how I wanted to review it, how I wanted to approach the review of it. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis, and then I'll do my best to give you a review of this book. And that's not saying anything bad. I love the book, but it's just not really sure how to review it, so I'm just going to do the best I can do, okay? So here you go. First Sergeant Colin Matheson, a hero and the poster boy for a new kind of warfare in America's endless Middle East conflicts, when he is photographed using a smart rifle to kill from miles away. A lifetime later, he is an old man taking VA meds to keep anxiety and the ghost at bay. He spends his days quietly resisting the government he has come to symbolize, using illegal technology to restore an 80-year-old car. All that is complicated by the arrival of his daughter and her 13-year-old son. The daughter has hidden motives. The boy has issues at his faith-based public school. When the Reverend Sibley shows up, it becomes clear all the problems are related to the unveiling of a statue to honor the moment Matheson became famous, and to his refusal to participate. Before his family can be used against him to coerce participation, Matheson uses the car he calls Layla to create a distraction. As the pressure mounts, Matheson's ghost and the feelings of impending change they bring drive him to a lost love and a lost nation. Matheson finds himself becoming a new symbol in his run through the Midwest. Pursued by police and skirting state surveillance networks, he learns about himself and his guilt from the shades that become more active in his life. Do the meds help him, or are they another aspect of state control, creating spirits from his violent memories? His only chance at freedom is to create a new image to represent the truth of his life. Matheson makes a last run to confront his past and make a new future he will never see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down basically these paragraphs. So the story takes place in the future. I don't know what year it takes place. I do know that in the beginning of the book, the author mentions that the Russians and America have been allies since the year 2038. Now, when we begin the story, Matheson is getting ready to take a shot at somebody from a great distance. So we know it's after 2038. He's still a fairly young man. He's a sniper in the military. He takes this shot. I mean, it is a long shot. We're talking about a 7-mile shot, over 7 miles. And this is with a rifle that pretty much, once you set your target, unless something gets in the way, it's going to hit the target every single time, all right? So there you have that. He gets his picture taken at this absolutely wrong moment when he's using this rifle. Cut to later, probably 20, 30 years later maybe. He's an old man. He's an old man living on a farm with his daughter and his nephew. Sister and his nephew, excuse me about that. Or his daughter, yes, his daughter. So that's be his grandson, or her 13-year-old son. Would that be his grandson? I'm not sure. Anyway, but he's restoring this Monte Carlo, and the kid's helping him with it. And the one thing you got to know about this story is that the government pretty much controls everything that you do. You're not even allowed to work on your own cars because the government has already built these cars that are pretty much made out of plastic. They're 3D printed, and they got GPS and all other kinds of things that they put in them that to keep up with you. So, of course, it would be illegal for you to work on your own vehicle because the government's afraid that you're going to take all that stuff out of there and they can't keep an eye on you. All right? Sounds paranoid? Maybe it is. All right? Anyway, so his grandson is, helping him to build this car. It's a 1986 Monte Carlo. He's building it from scratch, from parts like you used to have back then when you had 1986 Monte Carlos. And the one part about that, as I'm reading it, I got reminded of this song by Rush from the album Moving Pictures called Red Barchetta. And it's about this guy. He says that his uncle has this country place and nobody knows about it. And he's got this really awesome car called a Red Barchetta. And so the nephew takes the car out on this drive and he is pursued by these giant vehicles. It says they're alloy, he calls them alloy air cars, and they're 2 lanes wide. And he's got this little car. And of course he basically leaves him in the dust and just goes back to his uncle's farm, and that's it. All right. Well, that song itself was inspired by a story called A Nice Morning Drive. I don't remember the author's name. I think it was Robert Wilson. I'm not sure, but it appeared in Road and Track magazine in the 1950s, I'm pretty sure. So I wrote the author and I asked him, I said, hey, were you inspired by this song? And he said that, yeah, he was. He was also inspired, and I'll go into more about this in a minute. He was also inspired by the movie Vanishing Point, and also inspired by the stories of Richard Matheson. Of course, the character's name is Matheson, so there's some of the inspiration right there. But yeah, when I'm reading that part about the kid and him working on the car and how the car is illegal to have and stuff, I said, this sounds like Red Barchetta. And I loved that. I just absolutely loved it because I love the song by Rush. And for someone to incorporate that into a story, I just thought that's just the bee's knees, man. I just freaking loved it. All right. Now let's go on to the next part of it. All right. So this guy Matheson, he's not necessarily living in the past. It's just that he refuses to accept the future that his government and his church have laid out before him. He wants really no part of it. And he doesn't want to be a symbol of anything, and they want to make him a symbol, and he doesn't want that. So what does he do? He gets in this Monte Carlo, and he just drives. I mean, he drives fast, and he's got all these people along the way with CB radios because the government can't get into that. They can't tap into it. And they let him know, hey, don't come here. There's cops all around. If you come here, I got fried chicken for you. I got gas for you, because all the cars are electric. This car runs on gas, real, actual freaking gas, all right? In fact, some of the cars are driverless. The big tractor trailers that deliver stuff to like stores like Walmart and stuff, driverless, all right? So, yeah, that's where the vanishing point part comes in, is because he does become kind of a symbol for these people that are sick and tired of this shit. They're sick and tired of the way the government is, all right? So that's where the vanishing part comes in. And, like I said, he's getting all kinds of info. The same thing happens in the movie Vanishing Point, all right? There's a blind DJ played by Cleavon Little. This is an old movie. It's like 1971. I love this movie. And he is helping this guy drive across country by letting him kind of know, things that are going on. And it's kind of illogical. I'm not sure how he's able to let him know because he can't see him. But he does somehow. Anyway, so that's another thing I really loved about this, his incorporating the Vanishing Point movie, or the idea behind it or whatever, into the book. And this was one of those books that when I'm first reading it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like this book. But once I was able to tap into that familiarity that I have with this song and with this movie and see where the author was going for this, I was absolutely loving this book. All right? I loved it. I'm giving it 5 stars, and I regret nothing. All right? See, that's just it. I regret nothing. I know some people say, well, you shouldn't give too many movies or books or whatever 5-star reviews. If you do that, you lose your credibility. The book deserves the 5 stars. If it deserves it, I'll give it to it. If the book deserved 1 star, I would have given it 1 star, and it's not. It doesn't. All right. So yeah, that is my review of The Sound of Distant Engines. And again, that's by Robert E. Dunn. And yeah, I recommend it. 5 stars. So you guys, thank you for watching this movie, or this video is going to upload to my channel on Wednesday afternoon around 2:30. So again, like I said, thank you for watching, and you guys have an excellent evening. Bye.